Dhruva Mahārāja was constantly observing the form of the personality of Godhead within his heart. But all of a sudden, when the Supreme Personality disappeared from his heart, he thought that he lost it. Dhruva Mahārāja was perturbed, but upon opening his eyes and making his meditation, he saw the same form of the Lord before him. In the Brahma Samhita 538, it has developed, in Brahma Samhita 538, it is said, Premanjavan Shrito Bhakti Vilochana. A sentient person who has developed love for God by devotional service always sees the Lord, transcendental form as Shamsundar. This Shamsundar form of the Lord within the heart of the devotee is not imaginary. When a devotee becomes mature in his prosecution of devotional service, he sees face to face the same Shamsundar he has thought of during the entire course of his devotional service. Since the Supreme Lord is absolute, the form within the heart of a devotee, the form in the temple, and the original form in Vaikuntha are all the same. They are not different from one another. Savai dhiyā yoga-vipāka-tīvrayā hṛt-padma-kośe sphuritam taḍit-prabham tirohitam sahasaivopalakṣya bahiḥ-sthitaṁ. The form of the Lord, which was brilliant like lightning, and in which Dhruva Mahārāja, his mature yogic process, was fully absorbed in meditation, all of a sudden disappeared. Thus, Dhruva was perturbed and his meditation broke. But as soon as he opened his eyes, he saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead, personally present, just as he had been seeing the Lord in his heart. So, Dhruva Mahārāja, being insulted by his stepmother, felt very hurt. He was only 5 years old. And he wanted to sit on his father's lap. But his stepmother, who was more dear to the king than his mother, she did not want to receive of his father. And she insulted him by saying that you can sit on your father's lap only when you are born to my home. So you pray to the Lord so that you can be born to my home. We can see that this nature of envy remains even in the hearts of exalted persons. Dhruva, who is Dhruva Mahārāja? Dhruva Mahārāja is Brahma's grandson, the first BHakti. So Dhruva's father is actually Brahma's son. And this lady also in Satyuga. In Satyuga people are more pure. It is said that in Satyuga they were this little boy to sit on his father. The little boy being insulted, being hurt in his way, went with his mother. And his mother directed him, take shelter. That is actually the ultimate problem to also all, that's the ultimate solution to all problems. Whenever we are in difficulties, we should take shelter of Krishna's lotus. That is the intelligent thing. So, Dhruva Mahārāja's mother, Swami, instructed Dhruva Mahārāja. And Dhruva also was such an exalted person that even at that young age, he just accepted his mother's word and he went to the forest in search of the Supreme Personality. And seeing Dhruva Mahārāja's sincerity, Narada Muni came. And Narada Muni at first tried to dissuade the book. This process of spiritual life is not meant for you. You are too young for it. So when you grow up, then you do that. Then you cultivate this very arduous process of ashtam. But Dhruva was completely uncertain. So seeing Dhruva Mahārāja's determination, Narada Muni instructed him. So Brahmanda Bhavite Guru Bhaktovani Guru Krishna Prasade Pai. So it is a result of our great fortune that we come across the bona fide spiritual master. As Dhruva Mahārāja did, he came across Narada. And Narada instructed him on the process of ashtam. And Dhruva Mahārāja started. And his practice of this ashtam yoga was so severe that the demigods were disturbed because they were suffering. Like you can see that Dhruva Mahārāja practically became one with the Super Soul. Super Soul is in the heart of everyone. And when Dhruva Mahārāja stopped reading, others also. Even the demigods. So they approached the Supreme Personality that has been described in the previous verse. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead assured him in the previous chapter that, okay, you go back, I will do it. And when the demigods left, the Lord came to Dhruva, riding on his canyon, Garuda. And when the Lord appeared in front of Dhruva Mahārāja, for a moment, the super soul that Dhruva Mahārāja, the Lord of the heart that Dhruva Mahārāja was seeing, disappeared. And he thought that he lost the Dhruva Mahārāja. He was so absorbed in seeing the Lord in the core of his heart that when he could see him, he became extremely perturbed. But as soon as he opened his eyes, what did Dhruva see? He saw the Supreme Personality. And he saw the way he was seeing the Lord in the heart. The Lord is in the same way standing. So this is the spiritual perfection. In Satyuga, they used to do it through the practice of Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga is a very difficult yoga. It has 8 limbs. Those 8 limbs are, how many of you know the 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga? Very good. Okay. What's the first one? Yam. What does yam mean?
Control.
Yam means?
Control.
Purification. External. The purification of one's self. External purification. And then niyam. Niyam literally means following the rules and regulations. And by doing that, the internal purification. Then asana, the practicing of the physical exercise, yogic exercise. Asana, yogasana, posture. There are various types of motion. Of them all, the most appreciated one is sahasā. You just lie down at the dead body. Shav means dead. You lie down at the dead body and then go to sleep. But there are different types of asana. This way, the body is made fit for the yogic practice. Nowadays, in the name of yoga, what goes on is just the asana and some pranayama. But actually, they are not the real yoga. What is the purpose of yoga? The purpose of yoga is hand, meditation. And meditation means seeing the Lord. Anyway, so asana, by practicing asana, one makes the body, this body qualified for spiritual advance. Asana literally means the seat. Asana means the seat. So, in order to ride a machine, in order to ride a car, or ride a bicycle, or to ride an aeroplane, if you're using that machine, what do you do? First thing you have to do is sit down. Unless you are sitting in the driver's seat, can you drive the car? Therefore, sitting is asana is very important. To use a human form, use this very special body, the human form. Human body. What is the specialty of human body? By getting the human body, you can go back to the spiritual. If we use the human body properly, we can go back to it. So that is what asana is. Then pranayama, controlling of the breath. Why? Because the soul is in the body sustained by prana, life there. So controlling the life. Which ultimately means that yogi stops to breathe. A yogi, an expert yogi, can actually, by practicing pranayama properly, he can stop it. Like, it is quite common nowadays in India. We see people are people master this art. I remember a long time ago, one day I came out of the house in Calcutta, and in the bus stand, I saw many people were crowding there. And then out of curiosity, I went there, and I saw that somebody has dug himself under the ground. His legs are sticking out, but his body, half of his body is under the ground. Then, when I came back, I went to do something. Maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, I don't know how long after I came back. When I came back, I saw the crowd is still there. And I saw that same legs are sticking. For 6-7 hours we were doing that. And from the shape of the leg, I could see it's a young boy, not a old man. Maybe 14, 15. So how could one do that? By the practice of control. And this control of brain makes one to stop, master the art of stuff. So this is an important aspect of yoga. Last year, a year before that, I was in Kumbh Mela in Haridwar. And there also, I just heard, I didn't see it. The very popular take actually was of one pilot Baba. And the pilot Baba would, his trick was, one thing he was showing, that he would put himself in the box and they would bury the box under. And then after many hours they will think. Jai Shri Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhusudana Jai Shri Shri Gauri. So this is how by pranayama one pranayama. That's what the yogi does. But that is the fourth stage of yoga. Ashtanga yoga means 8 stages. Out of that, the fourth stage is pranayama. Fifth stage is pratyahara, withdrawing the sense. This body is entangled in the material nature. Sharir avidyajal, don't we sing that? Sharir avidyajal, jadendriya karika. Jive fale, vishaya shava. This body is a network. And the senses are the entanglement. It is because of the senses that and as a result of that, we are completely entangled in this materialistic jiva. One is plunged into the ocean of birth and death, ocean of material. So that is the fifth stage, pratyahara. What does yogi do? He withdraws the senses from the objects of existence. That means he withdraws himself from body consciousness. And he projects his consciousness to Krishna, the Supreme Personality. And how does the yogi meditate? Then begins the sixth stage, meditation. After one has withdrawn his senses from the object of his senses, then only he can project his senses, project his consciousness to Krishna. That is meditation. And when the meditation is fixed, when meditation, one consciousness is fixed at the lotus feet of the Lord. In the heart, and it is dhara, and then finally, samadhi. A total absorption. Uninterrupted. Consciousness. So at that stage, a living entity has nothing to do with it. That is the state that Dhruva Mahārāja achieved. You will see the Lord in the heart. Another question arises. The Lord, actually the Lord in the heart is the super soul. But through devotion, one sees the Supreme Personality. So meditation is not meant for seeing the super soul, but for becoming, perceiving the Supreme Personality, which is possible only through devotion. So yoga, one actually sees the part, genuine. But it is through devotional service that one sees the Supreme Personality. So here we can see that Dhruva Mahārāja was not just meditating on the Lord in the heart. Dhruva Mahārāja was rendering devotional service to the Lord. And it's also understandable when one comes across a spiritual master like Narad Muni, will naturally become a devotee. Because it is from a spiritual master that one gets the power. A devotee spiritual master gives devotion. So in this way, Dhruva Mahārāja, by receiving the mercy of Narad Muni, became situated in perfect Krishna and saw the Lord in the heart. And then, all of a sudden, he would see the Lord. But as he opened his eyes, he saw now the Lord is standing in front of him. Previously, you were seeing him in the core of his heart. Now you are seeing him in front of him. Same person. Therefore, we see when one meditates upon the Lord in the heart, that form is not imaginary. It is. So the Lord in the heart. We see. And that Lord in the heart is again not different from the Lord in the temple. That's what Prabhupada is pointing out. And Krishna is here. But why aren't we able, why can't we see him? Because to see him, there is a need for qualification. And what is the qualification? The qualification is Premanjana Churito Bhakti Vilochana. Premanjana Churito. Bhakti Vilochana. Bhakti. The important factor here is Bhakti. And Premanjana, like when you develop the heart, love for the Lord in the heart, then our vision also becomes affected by it. So that is what is the most important. The Lord is there, but we are not seeing. Krishna is there, but we are not seeing. What we are seeing, what appears to be like a marble statue. But that is the Lord of marble statue. No. He is Krishna himself. So that is why you don't have Krishna. Why you follow the rules and regulations and render devotion. Although you can't see him, although you are blind now, don't worry. Just keep on rendering devotion. And by the process, your vision will be having. Although you may be blind now, but you will get your vision. It is a treatment. What's the treatment? Premanya. Develop the love of the Lord and He will use this. And that seeing Him in spiritual world, seeing Him in the core of our heart, and seeing Him in the temple, not Him. There is no difference. The Lord Himself. That man. He is present. Sometimes people don't appreciate daily worship. Why you have to worship the Lord? So worshipping the Lord in the temple is important because we need to develop our relationship. He is allowing us to develop and develop our relationship. Those people, those who personally, in one hand they will say, Lord is everywhere. They accept, Lord is everywhere. So our point is, if the Lord is everywhere, then why can't He be here? If you say Lord is everywhere, then why can't He be here? He is everywhere, but can you see Him? But here He is. How He is. So anyway, as we say, Brahmando Pramite Bhagavan, some fortunate soul, Guru Krishna Prasade Bhakti. By the mercy of Guru and Krishna, he sleeps Bhakti. And when you cultivate this Bhakti Lata, then yes, you will get Krishna. Prema Bhagavana, which is the Guru. And this prema is the fruit of devotional prepared is there. What is the fruit of that? What is the purpose of devotional service? To receive Krishna. So this is the beginning of this chapter, the second verse. Who gave the class yesterday? Okay, thank you all very much. All glories to Shri. Does anybody have any question?
Maharaj, we see that in our family, our children and others do not disturb them. Sometimes we feel envious to them.
So what happened?
In family or in society, we see that people do not listen to us or sometimes they insult us. So we develop envious feeling with them. Envy to them. So what is how can we get it?
It depends. Like how old is he? How he managed. Sometimes therefore a street is if you leave the children on their own, will they die? You have to die. So you try to make them understand. If they are going in the wrong direction, try to correct them. Sometimes we have to be soft, sometimes we have to be hard. Sometimes we have to be like gentle breeze. Sometimes we have to be like it's a training. Training means when you do wrong, you get punished. When you do right, you get rewarded. So that is how you train. Right? Train.
problem is that when they do not, when we are strict and they do not realize that we are in their favor, so they do not understand, then we feel ill feeling for them. That is the.
It's difficult for me to say. Because you are the father, you know how to handle this. If I say something and your son gets to know about it, I'll be in trouble. Father's duty is to bring them to Krishna. Pita Shasha. Namo Jayatya. That father is not father if he cannot save his children from the cycle of birth. So that's a responsibility a father has. Like, when your son does something, you get offended. When somebody else's son does it, you get offended. Why? Because you have a will, that means you have a responsibility. So try to train them. And there are different ways. Psalm. Speak to him nicely. Make him understand the word. Even if he don't listen, then dawn. Give him some gift. Or take it for some nice, give him some nice treat. But if that also doesn't work, then done. So these are the ways to correct it. Any other question? Yes.
Let us kindly
Give the mic.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna very much. Thank you for such a wonderful class. I have one just verification. Soul is finite and soul is infinite. So how was it possible for
Soul is finite. Soul
Yes,
is finite. Where did you get that?
I read nectar of devotion. Like Jiva is limited and Lord is unlimited. So when Dhruva Mahārāja was in the perfection of the Samadhi, how was it possible for Dhruva Mahārāja to get like this?
How it's possible for Dhruva Mahārāja
to get like, so practically when he was in perfection of Samadhi, so he controlled everything, like every activity of the creation. How was it possible for Dhruva Mahārāja to control everything?
The Jiva, that is the what you see, the Jiva, always minute. He can perceive the absolute. That is the quality that Jiva has. And this happens by the mercy of God. Like an example is given, the Sindhu means the ocean and Bindu means the drop. Can the ocean come within the Bindu? It's not possible. It's just a drop. But in the spiritual context, although the living entity is like a Bindu and Krishna is like an ocean, by Krishna's mercy, the Bindu can understand that. So this is the mercy of God. The Lord makes himself perceivable. So by means of our endeavor, we will never be able to see it. But by mercy of the Lord. Therefore, devotees are not interested in seeing the Lord. Devotees' main concern is to serve the Lord. So although I cannot see, I cannot perceive his inconceivable nature, when by our service he becomes pleased. He becomes pleased. As we can see. The Lord manifested himself. And here we have to understand, when Dhruva Mahārāja was seeing him in the heart, that was also manifestation of God's mercy. And when he saw him outside, that's also a manifestation. Does it answer the question? Yeah.
When we enter devotional service, with contamination in the heart, like material desires or envy, so that kind of devotional service, but how do we actually purify such contamination? Despite it appears that even after years, still this contamination is.
How do we purify the contamination?
Yeah.
Now, the purification of contamination will take place by the practice of devotional service, as it has been described in the first verse of Shiksha Charu, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, which means by rendering devotional service to the Lord. Only thing is, what is the purification? What is the contamination? When I want to enjoy myself, that will be contamination. When I want to serve Krishna, that is purification. Now, all these years, all these lifetimes, or millions of lifetimes, we have been trying to enjoy ourselves. So now the way to purify the contamination, there is only one thing: render service. When you serve Krishna in heart, there is a question at the back.
कृष्णा महाराज के चरणों में सादर दंडवत। मेरा प्रश्न ये है कि भगवान के कितने भक्त हुए हैं? ध्रुव महाराज हो, अर्जुन हो, रामा हो या और भी हो, सबने कष्ट भोगे और अभी भी हम देखते हैं कि जो मंदिर आते हैं, पूजा करते हैं और भगवान की भक्ति में लगे हैं, वो कष्ट पा रहे हैं। और जो छल कपट कर रहे हैं, अहंकारी हैं, लोगों को दुख दे रहे हैं, वो सुख पा रहे हैं। ये सत्य है।
प्रश्न क्या है?
प्रश्न ये है कि भले लोग कष्ट क्यों पा रहे हैं, भगवान के भक्तों को कष्ट क्यों होता है?
भगवान को भक्त को कष्ट नहीं होता है। बाहर से लगता है कष्ट हो रहा है, बल्कि उसका कष्ट का अनुभव नहीं होता। लगता है दूसरे आदमी सोचते हैं कष्ट हो रहा है। देखिए, आपका चेतना जहां रहता है, जैसे ऑपरेशन हो रहा है, जो ऑपरेशन हो रहा है रोगी का, उसका क्या कष्ट हो रहा है? रोगी चिल्लाता है जब ऑपरेशन करता है डॉक्टर, चिल्लाता है? नहीं। क्यों नहीं? क्योंकि उसका एनेस्थेटिक्स दिया गया। एनेस्थेटिक्स के कारण उसका चेतना शरीर में नहीं रहता। वैसे ही भगवान का भक्त जो है, उनका चेतना, चूंकि उनका चेतना भगवान के चरण कमलों में है, उसके शरीर का क्या हो रहा है उसका कुछ अनुभव उनका नहीं। शरीर, मन और अहंकार का अनुभव उनका नहीं। और भगवान अपना भक्त के माध्यम ऐसे लोगों को शिक्षा देते हैं कि तुम अगर मेरा शरण लोगे तो तुम्हारा कोई किसी तरह का मुसीबत नहीं है। आप जो कह रहे थे, प्रहलाद महाराज का कितना समस्याएं पड़ती, बल्कि वो प्रहलाद महाराज के लिए हो गया समस्या था। उनका पिता उनको मारने का कितना प्रयत्न किया, मार सका? नहीं। इसका मतलब क्या होता है? भगवान रक्षा करेंगे। तो प्रहलाद महाराज का क्या कुछ ये था, एंजाइटी था, हाँ क्या अब क्या होगा नेक्स्ट, जब पिताजी ने ऐसे जब हमको ये करने का, हत्या करने का प्रयास करेंगे तो हम कैसे हमको उद्धार करेंगे, ये सोचा प्रहलाद? नहीं। प्रहलाद का चेतना भावना ये था, मैं भगवान का शरण लिया, भगवान को इच्छा करें, क्योंकि मैं शरण लिया हूं। शरण लेने का मतलब है ये, मैं उनके जिम्मेदारी में अपने आप को पूर्ण रूप से समर्पण करूं। बस अब ये जिम्मेदारी उनका है। तो भक्त का मनोभाव ऐसा, भगवान को चरण कमलों में मैं अपने आप को समर्पण करूं। तो भगवान आपको मारेंगे या रखेंगे, ये उनका विचार है। वैसे ही भक्त भगवान के, चूंकि भक्त भगवान के ऊपर पूर्ण रूप से समर्पित हो जाते हैं, तो उसलिए उनका कोई कठिनाई नहीं आता और कोई मुसीबतें का उपलब्धि भी नहीं।
But sometimes we do.
ঠিক আপনি হচ্ছে অন্য মাইক আছে? Okay, say the question.
Sometimes we do something good and people appreciate what we have done, and we also accept that appreciation. How can we overcome this mentality of grabbing the credit?
Okay, say it again. Take a minute.
Sometimes we do something good in Krishna consciousness.
Sometimes
we do something good in
Krishna
consciousness, and others start glorifying us, and we accept that glorification. So how can we overcome this mentality of accepting that thing or grabbing that thing?
If you accept the glorification, then you may get affected by falsehood. Therefore, don't accept the glorification. Pass it on. If somebody glorifies you, then you say all glory is Krishna. So pass it. Then you only pass it on to Krishna. Otherwise, we run the risk of becoming affected by it, which is falsehood. Give it.
Hare Krishna Guru. We have been practicing hṛt for quite a while.
I couldn't hear you. Say it slowly.
We are practicing hṛt for.
You are practicing Krishna consciousness.
How do I know if I am progressing or I am falling down? What are the signs?
Okay, very good. You see, the problem in Krishna consciousness is that when you progress, you think you are progressing. So, meaning, you see, to explain that point, you see, the definition of a neophyte devotee is that he thinks that he is the only devotee. Nobody else is the devotee. He is the only devotee. The verse goes like, Ujjain he worships Krishna with Ujjain, with Shraddha, with respect. But not a bhakteshu jnaneshu. But he doesn't recognize his devotee. So that means he thinks he is the only devotee and nobody else is there. That's the neophyte. Then the second class of devotee is that he Ishvare tadavdineshu padisheshu prisatsucha premo maitri kripa upekha jakarati samat. Madhyamadhikari is, he has love for Krishna, he has friendship for Krishna's devotee, he has compassion for the innocent, and he neglects the non-devotee. The second one. So here he is recognizing devotees and others also. But you know the definition of a pure devotee? He thinks that everybody has become a devotee. Only he could. So, the more one makes advancement, the more he thinks that he could become. And when he becomes a completely pure devotee, then he thinks that he could become a devotee at all. Right? So, this is the what can be done. That's what happens. Therefore, the devotee is not concerned about how much progress he has made or so forth. But rather he considers how much service he is rendering to Krishna, how humble he has become, how respectful he has become to the other devotees. These are his concerns. Not how big a devotee I have become, but how humble my heart is, how tolerant I am, how much I am prepared to offer respect to others, and how much I am unconcerned about glorification. Right?
Many times we have to take decision in our material life, and at the same time we can take always we should take shelter of Krishna, we should leave everything up to Krishna. So what should be the main consideration in taking any decision?
Taking
Any decision in our life.
any decision.
What should be main consideration?
Okay. So the main decision that one should take is that he should become a devotee. How to become a devotee? Because by becoming a devotee of Krishna, all the problems can be solved and all the goal can be reached. So if everything can be achieved by becoming a devotee of Krishna, then isn't that the best thing to do? So that should be the decision, and if you have difficulty making the decision, then go to somebody who is more mature, more advanced, more superior. Take it there. Now there is a question from internet. Can you please guide me? Actually, can you please give me some tips to fix my consciousness and Krishna consciousness? And chant Hare Krishna, read Prabhupada's books, and associate with the devotee. This question is from Vinay Bhakti. So Vinay, chant the holy name of the Lord, read Prabhupada's books, and associate with the devotees of Krishna, then your consciousness will be fixed in Krishna. Okay, so we can stop now.